Good morning. Coming to you live in the gym in Sunland Park, New Mexico. This is the 343 commitment and still counting. 110 floor memorial stair climb for our brother, firefighter Hector Tirado Jr. off of Manhattan's the West Side Tigers, engine 23. This is to take our brother, who is a probationary firefighter with the FDNY, who ran into Tower 1 on 9/11 to the very top. I'm going to get this out first so I don't mess it up. Dedicated to his siblings, Sean, Angel, and Marina, and dedicated to his ex, Shaniqua, and his 5 children, Ronald, Ashley, Hector III, Devin, and Denzel. So hopefully I'll be able to remember that throughout the rest of the climb. For our brother, who is 30 years old at the time of his response on 9/11, with the West Side Tigers, also known as the Lion's Den, according to their patch. So this 110 floors is given in honor and respect for the sacrifices made so that others could live. This is the 3rd climb of this tour, and the 322nd climb since beginning the commitment. So for our brother, Hector Tirado Jr. from the West Side Tigers out of Manhattan, we're going to the top. So we have a total of 7 verticals. By the time we reach the 7th vertical, it's 101st floor, and our brother will be at the very top. So our brother, when he was younger, lost both his mom and dad, and he took it upon himself to take care of his siblings, Angel, Sean, and Marina. He took legal guardianship of his sister and 2 brothers, worked various jobs at a shoe store in construction to make sure that they were okay, where they shared an apartment. I believe it was in the Bronx. And our brother joined the Army, where he was stationed in Panama. And when he came back, he met his ex-wife, Shaniqua, and they had 5 children together: Devin, Denzel, Ashley, Ronald, and Hector III. It said that after they broke up, Shaniqua and the kids went to Ohio, but our brother worked as a waiter and also as a part-time model to support his kids. It said that he would go visit them in Ohio, and then they would come to the city and spend time with him in the city. Our brother, along with firefighter Angel Duarbe, was involved in, I believe it was called the FDNY Hispanic Society. They were putting a calendar together, and both Angel Duarbe and firefighter Hector Tirado volunteered to help out with the calendar for the Hispanic broadcasting that would help bring funding to the Hispanic Society of the FDNY. This calendar was supposed to be put out in 2002, and it turned out it was going to be now. When it was done, it was a tribute to both firefighter Angel Duarbe and firefighter Hector Tirado. It turned out to be an 18-month calendar, and it said that both brothers, as a tribute, their picture was on their birth month. Right now, we're taking brother Hector Tirado Jr., a firefighter with Engine 23, the West Side Tigers, to the 110th floor. The next major milestone is the 325th climb, the 13th milestone in this journey. To remember the 343 stories that are being shared. Prior to taking up the and still counting, those who worked the pilot ground zero for the almost 9-month operational period before the last beam was removed and placed into the 9/11 Memorial Museum. They will never be forgotten. And upon completion of these last climbs, they will start taking their journey to the top, God willing, as many as I can carry, until I can't climb anymore. This climb is dedicated to our brother siblings, Sean, Angel, and Marina. I promise you, Hector will never be forgotten. For his ex-wife, Shaniqua, or I hope I'm saying that correct, and his 5 children, Devin Denzel, Ashley Ronald, and Hector III. Your father will never be forgotten, but instead, his legacy will live on. This is why we climb. To tell their stories. So 19 years later, we still remember. And right now, this is our brothers. 110 floors. Finishing his footsteps in Tower 1. Taking him up. One by one. Going there now with honor and respect for our brother who, at only 15 years old, took it upon himself to make sure that his family was taken care of. Moving in with their aunts and uncles. Our brother made sure that Sean, Angel, and Marina never had to go without. Worked multiples of jobs. Our brother was always working, according to something I read from his uncle, that he was always working to take care of him. And also what I read, when his wife and he went separate ways, their family went to Ohio, all the kids, with his wife. Our brother visited them, spent time with them, took care of them, and we even have them in the city with him. He will never be forgotten, nor will his sacrifice be forgotten. For our brother, who was a probationary firefighter, he started off as an EMT with the FDNY, and then joined in as a firefighter with the FDNY, assigned to the West Side Tigers, Engine 23 there in Manhattan. Responded on 9/11 to the greatest rescue effort in United States history. Upwards of 25,000 were saved because of the bravery, valor, and heroism that was shown on 9/11/2001. This is his story. Our brother, who was the firefighter, is a probationary firefighter with the FDNY within 23, but before that, he served his country in the United States Army, was sent to Panama for his post. It said when he returned from Panama, he met Shaniqua, his wife at the time, and they had their kids together, Devin, Denzel, Ashley, Ronald, and Hector III. Your father will never be forgotten. So now we're coming up on the fourth to last vertical on this 110th floor memorial stair climb, as the second brother left. One more after this for the Westside Tigers, also known as Lions, down on their patch, to a game full accountability. And my brother to take vertical for engine 23. For our brother who ran into Tower 1, responded to the worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil, but upwards of 25,000 were saved because of bravery, the valor, and the heroism that was shown by all those who responded. And following the end still counting, those who worked the pile for days, weeks, and months, up to the almost 9 months that the recovery operation was completed, with the last beam, which was actually memorialized in the 9/11 Memorial Museum. This 110 floors, the third of this 96-hour shift that I'm currently working right now, is going to the top. Our brother firefighter Hector Tirado Jr., as I said before, a U.S. Army veteran, a probationary firefighter with the FDNY. He will never be forgotten, but instead, he will always be remembered. This is why we climb. To tell their story, like I'm doing right now, coming to you live in the gym this morning in Sunland Park, humid Sunland Park, New Mexico, with the 343 commitment. Initial 343 climbs. The 322nd brother to now be carried to the top. And right now we're going up. For our brother, engine 23, the Westside Tigers, firefighter Hector Tirado Jr. Coming up on the over halfway mark in this 110th floor memorial climb. Taking them all the way up with honor and respect. And it is very nice and humid this morning. In the gym, at the fire station. Can barely see. We'll let this clear up a little bit while we continue this 110 floors for our brother, firefighter Hector Tirado Jr., who was 30 years old on the time of his response on 9/11. Went into the first tower and was part of the greatest rescue effort in United States history. Upwards of 25,000 were saved because the bravery, valor, and heroism shown by our brothers and all those that responded. His story will never be forgotten. His life will always be remembered. He will not just become a name on a plaque or a picture on a wall. Our brother, Hector Tirado Jr., this is his 110 floors. For his ex-wife, Shaniqua, and the kids, Devin, Denzel, Ashley, Ronald, and Hector the Third, and for his siblings, Angel, Sean, and Marina. I promise you, Hector will never be forgotten. Our brother worked multiples of jobs when he was younger to take care of his siblings, Sean and Angel and Marina, to keep that family unit together. Ended up getting an apartment with him after he got legal guardianship of his siblings. We will never forget the sacrifices our brother had to make to be his family and those that followed. Our brother instead worked at shoe shops, worked construction. He was a waiter off duty and also a part-time model, so he could help support his kids. As I mentioned before, to help with the FDNY Hispanic Society, I believe is what it was called, he and firefighter Angel Duarbe offered to help with the 2002 firefighters calendar for the Hispanic Society. And they were both responsible for lining everybody up. And then 9/11 occurred. Once that was completed, the thought of the calendar couldn't be what it was before. And instead, it became an 18-month calendar, which gave honor to both firefighter Duarbe and this firefighter, Hector Tirado Jr., who minted 23. Each of them had their photo on their birth month of the 18-month calendar. It said that some of the pictures had to be redone to include one with a tattoo in remembrance of all is lost, the 343 on 9/11, prior to making the new calendar with, I believe it was the Hispanic Broadcasting Company that was also working on the project. For our brother who took care of his siblings, would not let them get into trouble. He worked so many jobs. His uncle said he was always working. He never wasn't working. And as I read, when his wife, Shaniqua, and he split, she went to Ohio with the kids, and our brother went to visit often, took care of them, and had them in the city when they could be. For Manhattan's West Side Tigers, into 23, the second to last brother, but for full accountability. This is coming to you live in the gym in Southern Park, New Mexico. This is the 343 commitment, and still counting. 110 floors for Manhattan's West Side Tigers, into 23, probationary firefighter, Hector Tirado, Jr. My brother was 30 years old on 9/11 when he responded. Went into the first tower as part of the greatest rescue effort in U.S. history on the back of the worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil. We will never forget, but instead we will always remember their sacrifices that were made so that others could live. This is why we climb. To tell their stories on this Stair Climber. He climbs around the U.S., whether it be up towers or in auditoriums, event centers, or in the stairwells, or those that run on their behalf with the Tunnel to Towers 5Ks and other 9/11 memorial events across the U.S. and across the world. 19 years later, your brother, your father, has never been forgotten. This story will continue to be told, as this is why we climb. To never forget their legacies. For his children, Devin, Denzel, Ashley, Ronald, and Hector III. I promise you, your father will always be remembered. 20 years down, 25 years, it doesn't matter. We will keep our promise and our commitment for the family, the FDNY, and our country. This is why we climb. Coming up now on this last vertical in extremely humid Southern Park, New Mexico, in the gym, live with the 343 commitment, and still counting. 110 floors for our brother, firefighter Hector Tirado, Jr., assigned into 23, Manhattan's West Side Tigers, also known as the Lion's Den, according to the patch from that house. Taking them up. One last vertical to come on and get us to the 101st floor. Then it's only 90 floors, 9 floors after that. And the 110 will be reached, and the 322nd brother will go to the top. The last of the verticals on this 110 floors. Stepping on a stair climber for the 343 commitment. For our brother, who took care of his younger siblings when he was only 15 years old, after losing both his mom and dad our brother who would not be without a family. They moved in with their aunts and uncles, and our brother worked multiple jobs at a shoe store and construction jobs to be able to take care of his family. He ended up getting guardianship, and it said they all moved together in an apartment in the Bronx. Then our brother joined the United States Army, where he was stationed in Panama. So he took care of Angel, Sean, and Marina to make sure his two brothers and sister would never be without a family. When he came back from Panama, he met his wife at the time, Shaniqua, and they had 5 kids: Devin, Denzel, Ashley, Ronald, and Hector III. So our brother was a United States Army veteran who served in Panama, and both previously an FDNY EMT to becoming probationary firefighter with the FDNY, to which he was assigned to the Manhattan's West Side Tigers into 23. The second to last brother till we get full accountability for into 23. To the 110th we go for firefighter Hector Tirado Jr., a brother, a husband, a father, a role model to those around us. That our brother did everything he could, working all the time on the FDNY as a waiter, as a part-time model, to take care of his family. That was his priority. We can all learn something new about their lives through each and every climb that is carried. They will never just become a name on a plaque or a picture on a wall. This is why we climb. To tell their story. The 320-second story told of the initial 343 commitment. That's so counting. Before the end so counting will take their journey to the top. Those that worked the pile for upwards of the almost 9 months the recovery effort was in place. They will never be forgotten, but instead, God willing, I will carry as many as I can to the top. This is why we climb. For our brother's family, his ex Shaniqua, children, Devin, Denzel, Ashley, Ronald, and Hector III, and his siblings Sean, Angel, and Marina. He's made the top. We're only a little ways away for into 23 Manhattan's West Side Tigers to see the 110th floor. And we have reached it for our brother, firefighter Hector Tirado Jr., Engine 23, Manhattans, Westside Tigers. You will never be forgotten.